start off by sort of building off of last night. How nice is it to see, it seems like the entire offense is just on the same page, same mindset of not trying to do too much, doing what they can at the plate, and seeing the way that it paid off last night.
Yeah, it was great. Big at bats, going the other way, hitting the ball where it was pitched, and find a way to come through with runners in scoring position, and they did a great job of doing that, and looking forward to more of the same tonight.
Do you think that's something that, as a group you guys have been trying to preach, or is it something that maybe Matt Haig behind the scenes has just been telling these guys, like, you're good enough, you just have to make sure you're not pressing when you don't need to?
Yeah, Matt's doing a great job with them. Obviously, we see the work every day and continue to work towards that. Just great to see it all come together last night and find a way to score. 10 runs was tremendous.
Frazier, before you guys traded him away to San Diego, obviously was in a really good spot. It was all-star year. Since over that time, with a few different organizations, the numbers just didn't seem to be there. Now he's trending in a spot that he kind of looks like the player that he was back here his first go-round. Anything, because you were here, anything that's like common theme, fabric there with where he is now, and has he done anything to resort back to that form?
Yeah, hard to say because I didn't get to really see him every day when he was with the other teams. But you talk about a pro at bat, spraying line drives, going deep into counts, finding ways. 2 huge at bats. Talking earlier about against Iglesias with Atlanta, and then the other day against Philly, starting those rallies late, just finding ways to put the ball in play, line drives, gap to gap. Can't say enough about him and what he's been able to do and the consistency that he's provided down in the order there.
Frazier's someone who talked a lot about doing the little things right, and that's something he's preached since spring training. What do you notice about just how detail-oriented he is in his work on the field and behind the scenes?
Oh man, now he's in left right now, but when he's playing second, you go out and watch his routine playing second base. He's got a specific routine that he goes through, working on all angles, turning double plays, finding ways to get to different balls, hitting wise, doing the same thing. He's very routine oriented and sticks to it, and really paid off really well for him.
With him in left field now, how do you kind of balance that with Canario and Pham and getting everyone at bats?
Yeah, it's something we're going to have to balance and figure out as we go and find the right opportunities for them to be in there and help us win. And thing is, with Frazier being able to play multiple, being able to, we want these guys, they want to play every day. It's 162. Other guys are going to need a break every once in a while too, so having a guy like Frazier can bounce around and go to different positions is key.
Do you feel compelled to play the hot hand? You see something the night before, hey, this guy's on it, he's back in the lineup the next day. Do you kind of really rely on your eyes to say, hey, I got a feeling that this guy's going to be on one soon?
Yeah, hot hand, there's so much that goes into it and a lot of different input from our staff that in talking about playing guys and everything. When hot hand goes into it, matchups, righty lefty, what do? Some guys are reverse split, some guys are straight up, just trying to take everything into account. Most important thing, trying to win the game. Finding whoever that is that we feel is going to give us the best chance to win that night, given the information that we have surrounding everything that we just talked about.
What have you seen from Frazier as a veteran leader?
Oh, consistency. Just the way he goes about it every single day. Shows up the same guy every day. When you talk about him and Tommy Pham has been unbelievable as far as work. He shows every day why he's a true pro. He's been the same guy coming in here, competing, working, finding ways. Yes, if you ask him, he would say that he wishes he was better too right now. And I think that just speaking to who those two guys are and what they bring every single day, the consistency, the teammate, the desire to work and be better. Frazier has done that. Tommy's done that. We've got a lot of guys that have done that, but from the outside additions, from a position player standpoint, those two are the guys that really, for me, have led the way.
We talked the other day about, you were talking about Jared Triol, but just in general, about guys not meeting their expected numbers. How much are you seeing hard hit balls not being rewarded here, especially balls that are over 100 miles an hour exit velocity that are falling short of the ball, or doubles instead of home runs. Is that something you're seeing here on a frequent basis?
Yeah, guys are hitting the ball hard, and it's hard to say because, every stadium is unique when you're talking about the wind, the stuff, when we got the river. It's hard to say exactly, what balls should get out, shouldn't get out. There's a lot of different data that can come out on that. I think for us is just continuing to, when a guy does hit the ball hard, reward that from our conversations and understanding it's frustrating as a player. When you go up and your best bolt isn't good enough. For my time in Detroit in the past was 420 to center field. You're going up there. I certainly did not have the power to go 420 to center field myself, and it gets frustrating when you're a player and you're going up there and you're squaring the ball up and it doesn't get out. But how do we keep them in that role of going up there to that's success. It might not be a hit, but you did what you were supposed to do and hit the ball hard, and trying to keep them in a positive frame of mind, given some outs that we've made that have been loud, but they're outs.
Or even like the last night, O'Neill had one that was a 111, it was a double. I mean, that 111 usually is out of the park, right?
Yeah, 111 his was on a line, and I love that. Like, you go gap to gap hitting line drives like that, but then he came up later and hit the, I don't know what it was, 108 and a 40, gets caught at the wall, which is tough. But like, how do we continue to square balls up like that? If you do that consistently, you're gonna end up with some pretty good numbers.
Have you guys made any adjustments defensively since earlier in the year? Have you deployed anything maybe differently? Or is it pretty much the same defensive game plan?
Yeah, pretty much the same defensive game plan, at least I was more involved on the infield side, but our infield defense has been phenomenal. Last night, I know, we had a couple errors with Gonzo and Tree, but when you look at the numbers, our internal metrics, we're number 1 in the league infield wise, top 10 outfield, and guys have continued to work and get better. And like I was saying about Tommy, like, you watch Tommy Pham shag every day, he's going out there like he's a rookie, trying to get better every day, and that's rubbed off on Canario, on Cruz, and that leadership that he's displayed has helped other guys get better, and I think that, from a defensive standpoint, just continue to work, continue to, maybe different routines throughout, but like very similar and similar mindset.
Is that improvement on the defensive side since you've taken over kind of come from just extra work, or do you think guys are just playing freer? And I think you've said in the past, just like they're fearless to make mistakes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. That's just kind of from an infield standpoint what I believe in and preached with our guys prior and even now is I want you to go out to make a play to win the game. And how do you stay in that mindset defensively and offensively too? We want to be aggressive on pitches that we can handle and find ways to drive the ball gap to gap. Defensively, go out and find a way to make a play to win the game. And I mean, the play the other night with Gonzo maybe looked routine. That is not a routine play. Rain coming down, end of the game, first and second, 1 out, and you're going right, having to go back left and throw it, phenomenal play there, just highlighting one.
With Connor Griffin getting bumped up to Greensboro, what stood out to you about the time you guys shared together at spring training this year?
Wow. I mean, you talk about tremendous person, athlete, just the whole package, the way that he went after it as an 18-year-old did not seem 18 to me when he was walking around, and the way he handled himself, and then you see the talent on the field and the way he runs, throws, hits, just in the season that he's had so far, just really excited for him to take that next step and continue to work his way up here.